What's up, boys? Welcome back to another video. Today, week 5, I believe, of the college basketball rankings. Packed week of basketball. First video after Christmas, so Merry Christmas to all you guys out there. Let's get right into this one, starting with number 25, who is still the Georgia Bulldogs. Now, I wish this team has played more competition than they have so far. They should be about to enter SEC play. But haven't played much competition, but haven't lost, and they've looked good in every game they've played, so I can't fault them or raise them up for that, so they're going to stay here at 25 this week. Number 24, as you can see on the screen, UNC keeps falling, bro. UNC with a big loss against NC State this past week, moving down 7 spots in my rankings. 3 losses on the season, all to very good teams, and who will be in this rankings so far. So yeah, number 22, 24 for Carolina. 3-point shooting has to get better. We make one more 3, and that pretty much that game is over. It either goes into overtime or it's just over. So 3-point shooting has to get better. Turnovers have to go down. But, you know, it will overtime. So, 24 for Carolina. Number 23, the team who beat Carolina this week is NC State. One loss being to St. Louis, who's a pretty good team. And they were shorthanded. They were out without Manny Bates. They were without a few other guys, which hurt them in that one. They barely lost that one. So, 23 for NC State, I think, is fair with a big ranked win over Carolina this week. Number 22, staying at 22, is Duke. I really want to move them down since they haven't played, and they basically gave up on the non-conference schedule, but I can't do that. So I'm going to just leave them here at 22. And look at this, boys. 4 straight ACC schools in the top 25. Virginia Tech, a team I did not have ranked at all last week, moving above Duke 1 spot to 21. Like this team a lot. Big win over Villanova earlier in the year, who's looking like a really good team now, which is making that win look really good. Only 1 loss to a Penn State team, who is they definitely should have won that game. But that's far enough in the past where I can forgive them of that to move them here at 21. Number 20, the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Big win over Iowa on Christmas Day. That was a good game. Very high scoring. That offense looks loaded. And yeah, so 20 for Minnesota this week. Number 19, going back to an ACC school in Florida State. Moved down slightly for the loss against UCF. But I still like this team. I still think it is the most underrated team in the ACC. Like this team, like the coaching. I think they'll do very well this season. Number 18, staying at 18, is the Illinois Fighting Illini, with their 3 losses also coming to 3 very good teams who are all in this ranking, I believe. So, can't fault them. I think they are slightly better than Carolina because they do have the ability to make shots when it counts. So, yeah, 18 for Illinois. Number 17, continuing to rise, proving to themselves that they are one of the top contenders in the SEC, is the Missouri Tigers. Currently 6-0, looking really good. I'm not having them as high as the AP does right now, although they do have some pretty good games, big wins that they've had, including Illinois. Can't move them as high as they have them right now, but 17 I think is fair for them. Number 16, Rutgers, just coming off a loss to Ohio State, who just moved out of the rankings, getting their 2nd loss on this season just a couple of days ago. Rutgers, still a pretty good team. I don't think this is a great team by any means. Big Ten, I think it's going to be pretty weak this year, but they will be at the top of that Big Ten. But not the very top, though. As you'll see, at 15, Texas Tech's Red Raiders. Great team. Matt McClung looking really good this year. Almost pulled off a win against Kansas. Very, very close. Good effort. So that's why I only moved him down, I think, one spot since last week. Number 14, Michigan Wolverines. They haven't really played any tough competition yet. Just starting SEC play. I mean, but you can't fault them from what you've seen. They've looked really great. Love the coaching. I think the talent on that roster is pretty good, and I think this team could very likely end up on the top of the Big Ten at the end of the year. Number 13, Michigan State, a team who I had very high, but I did mention watch for the upsets. I could just sense that upset was coming, and got the one upset, and then they lost again a couple days ago to a very good Wisconsin team, which I did not fault them that much for. So 13 for Michigan State right now. Number 12 is still Virginia. They haven't really done anything to show me anything against any team since that loss against San Francisco. Right now, the game against Gonzaga just started. I was going to wait and post a stats for the Gonzaga game, but I can't assume who's going to win that game. So the rankings will be adjusted for that game in next week's. That game will not be affected right here. So yeah, number 12 for Virginia. Number 11 is Creighton. Very close loss against Kansas. I thought I really could have won that game if it went into overtime, but unable to do it. They are looking at 2 losses, so they are unfortunately sitting at 11 right now, although they did get a big win against Xavier a couple of days ago, which really helps them. Number 10, Iowa. This team plays no defense whatsoever, and that's just going to be the one thing that keeps them probably out of title contention, honestly, for me. The lack of defense ability on that team is absolutely insane. They are allowing probably like 90 points a game, I want to say. They're just giving the opponent whatever they want. But Iowa's offense is good enough to keep up with any offense, though. So, number 10, they do have 2 losses coming pretty close to each other, so I had to move them down a little bit. Number 9 is Wisconsin with a huge win over Louisville. They look fantastic in that game, and another big win against Michigan State, really showing that they are a good team who can bounce back against the loss that they took against Marquette a couple weeks back. Number 8 is West Virginia, still very high on this team. Did suffer an unfortunate loss against Kansas a couple days ago, but it was very well fought. I think I'm moving down one spot because of that loss, but Kansas is very good, so you can't harm too much for that. Tennessee is a team who, hasn't played much competition, but you can't fault them for their losses, like I've been saying. I don't think this is a top 7 team, but I had to keep moving them up because teams above them have lost. So number 7 is where Tennessee's going to be right now. Number 6, Texas. This Texas team is so good. Only lost to a team right above them in Villanova, which you'll see in a minute. Big test coming up against Kansas the day after New Year's, which will be interesting. I think if they win that game, bro, they could move in to top 4 easily. Final 4 contentions. But right now, I think it's number 6 team. Very good team. Number 5, Houston. They just won their game officially against UCF a couple of moments ago. So a big win for them there. The UCF team is actually pretty good. So I like what I've seen from Houston, man. And going throughout the rest of the season and conference play, their schedule won't have too many hiccups for them, I don't think. So they could end up a top 5 team at the end of the year. Number 4, Villanova Wildcats. A team who, after that loss against West Virginia, has just keep winning and getting better and better. Last game against Marquette, they were very impressive. A Marquette team that I think is a pretty good team. They've looked good ever since that Virginia Tech loss, beating Texas, who I just mentioned. So yeah, number 4 definitely for Villanova. Number 3, though, is Kansas. I don't think the top 3 teams in the nation can be debated. It's Kansas at 3, who played a tough schedule and got some big wins. Baylor at 2, and of course Gonzaga Bulldogs at number 1 in the rankings. By far best team in the country. I do not think that is debatable. You could say Baylor. I'll tell you you're wrong every day of the week. Gonzaga, look at their schedule. It's been absolutely insane. But they have to play an insane non-conference schedule because the conference they're in is pretty weak. So far, but they have no blemishes on their record. They look really, really good, and I do expect them to beat Virginia today and stay at the number 1 spot. So guys, that's going to be it for today's video. Please like, subscribe, comment, share, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.